Shalom. Kahlala, Yahabo, Bahasham, Yahabashai, Bahasham Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of GMS. Salutations to you brothers who's pushing this truth to the four corners, the highways and byways. All praises to Yahabo, Bahasham, Yahabashai, Bahasham Kodash. Brothers. Brother Yashima here with another video. Just exhorting, defying, straight to the point. You know. It says, my children, keep discipline in peace for wisdom. Yeah, this is Sirach 41 and verse 14. Alright? It says, my children, keep discipline in peace for wisdom that is hidden, and a treasure that is not seen. What profit is them both? Now, wisdom here is automatically compared to a treasure. You know, something of value. Something that is very expensive. Alright? So, and the thing, not only that is expensive, these are beautiful. You know, like rubies, you know, pearls, gold, diamond, you know, the precious stones. Alright? Wisdom is compared to. Alright? And these things, you know, they appease the eyes. Likewise, wisdom would appease the ear when one hear wisdom. You know. So, brothers, you men that listening for some time now, the elders and the apostles, you know, the works. You understand? This is the time to get cooking. This is the time to keep pushing. Push this word. Push the best of your ability. Don't be worrying with this flesh, this life. Because the more you worry with this and what people think and what they might think of you, you know, and the time is taken, and you know, the sacrifices that you might have to make in the world to make it, and you know, this truth, between the sacrifice of this world and the sacrifice for this truth, hey, the end result is you're going to be regretting not taking up this mantle, taking up this cross, taking up this truth, taking up this life. All right? So don't have this wisdom, hear these words, and not push it. You know? It says in verse 15, it says, a man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom. You see? And this is plain, straight, clear as day. You understand? If a man is foolish and he hide it, you know, he show less his foolishness, hey, you know. Better than a man that know this truth, you know this word, knows the consequence of holding it and not sharing, but you know the consequence of not knowing it too, and hide it. Alright? That man, you know, he would be the one foolish, because the fool is better than he that hideth this wisdom, hideth this truth. You know, so again, all the time these years you've been listening to this with the words of the elders and the apostles, listening to what they have to teach, you know, listening brothers' videos, watching, you know, staying in tune, but not taking up this walk is vain. You know, faith without works, you know, is death. All right. Going on, it says, therefore, be shamefaced, right, according to my word. All right. Exactly, you're supposed to be ashamed according to the Most High word. You know, you knowing this and not putting in that work, you know, and you're not ashamed because you're knowing this word and you're not doing anything. You ought to be ashamed to know this wisdom, to know what's coming, to, you know, to keep it in tune, and you're not giving this word or even standing. Matter of fact, you know, you learn these things from men of the Lord that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know, you believe in everything else except the name. You don't want to stand as a defense for that name. Because you might maybe have grown up in a family that believe in Allah, believe in Jesus Christ, believe in these idols, but you're afraid to profess the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know? No, be ashamed in the word to not do these things. Alright? It says, for it is not good to retain all shamefacedness. Alright? Because, hey, you know, really and truly, the fact of the matter is that there's things in this world, a man you're not supposed to be ashamed of. You know? A man is not supposed to be ashamed of providing for his family. A man is not, first and foremost, to give him praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. Because if it wasn't for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you wouldn't get a family. Something you don't be ashamed faced for, calling upon the name of the Lord. You know? Reverencing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know, telling these wicked people what you're not into. You know, what you stand for. Alright? You know? But the scripture is going to list what you know, what you should be ashamed of. Alright? Going on, it says, neither is it altogether approved in everything. Exactly. You know, you're ashamed for asking a man for money when you already work for it. He playing the tail like he forgets, you know, or he dragging his foot. Alright? But you ashamed to ask for your money or inquire of it. I'm just giving an example, man. You know, but as it pertains to this truth, you know, be not ashamed to, you know, give this word. Alright? As you receive this word, you know, which is free. Alright? And even the things that are strange and uncommon to this society, you know, which regards in this truth, you know, speak them. Live them. Alright? Don't be a hypocrite speaking this word and not, you know, putting, you know, your life out there as an example. That's vain. Alright? It says, verse 17, be ashamed of whoredom before father and mother. You see? You know, unto you sisters, this is the things you're supposed to be ashamed of, you know, of whoredom. Right? To you men, you know, it's going back also, you know, the whoredom going back to these other idols. Worshipping these idols. You know, that is whoredom. Going and worship other gods other than Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, it's a whoredom. Alright? It's whoredom. It says, and a lie before a prince and a mighty man. Alright? Lying, man, you know, it's not good. You know, especially if you you lie to a mighty man or a prince, alright? Hey, automatically gonna get some fire, so it might as well be a shame. Wise thing to do, you know, is use wisdom. You know, I'm gonna put it as that. You know, use wisdom. Alright? It says here, verse 18. It says, of an offense before a judge and ruler. See? That's something to be ashamed of. You know, we brothers say we don't ever want to be in front of a judge, you know, in court or stuff like that. You know, but hey, things happen. Alright? Things do happen. You know? You know, we try to prove ourselves not guilty. You know, if we are not. Alright? It says, of iniquity before congregation and people. You know, like adultery with your neighbor's wife. That's a fucking shame, man. In this world here, that thing is held as something good. Alright? As if it is something, you know, good to do. You know, get a one up over a man by popping his woman. That wicked, man. It says of unjust dealing before thy partner or friend. Exactly, unjust dealings. You know, deal for certain, like for instance, going into business, you name say one thing, and then you're regretting that you made that decision because it's maybe not going well for you. Or if it is that suddenly you want to you know, check the man memory to see if he remembers. Now if you remember the thing you did or you agreed to from the beginning, why do you ask you're asking the man the question? You know, that's unjust dealing. You know, to see if, you know, his memory you know, that's some wickedness, man. You know, a bad babal to a man that does that. You know, and Esau does that, man. Right, verse 19, it says, and of theft in regards of the place where thou hast sojourned. Right? You go visit people or you go visit a place and you get catch stealing. Come on. So shame, man. It says, and in regards of the truth of Yahweh power and his covenant. Alright? You ought to be ashamed to not keep in the covenant of Yahweh Hashem Yerushay. You know? I tell you why it's compelled. It's be you know, upon my mind. You know, especially in this wicked place when you can't, you know, like for instance the Sabbath, can't keep it 100%, man. This place is fucked up, man. You know? Going on, it says, and to lean with thine elbow, right, upon the meat, right, and of scorners to give and take. All right, so that's the thing. You know, you got this wisdom here, all right, and this truth, but you rather be among, you know, scorners, right? Like for instance, not for these sellout, these camps, you know, to give, you know, they basically sell out for money, you know, for me. All right. Going on. Where am I at verse? Yeah. So like you. It says, and of silence before them that salute thee and look upon an harlot. And to look upon a harlot. And of silence before thee. It says, and of silence before them that salute thee and to look upon a harlot. Alright? You know, you're gonna pick a fear. I get catch. Right? It says here, and to turn away thy face from thy kinsmen, or to take away a portion of a gift, or to gaze upon another man's wife. You see? Now that's wickedness. That's something you should be ashamed upon. Ashamed of. You know? But anyway, you know, I'm gonna stop it there for now, just me the cotton field. But yeah, don't be ashamed in doing the will and the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Alright? Don't be ashamed. You know, you brothers. You know, keep the integrity, stay strong. You know, with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers who's pushing the truth in the four corners, the highways and byways. And all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Shalom.